Good morning everyone, and welcome back to the dye garage thing. Today I am dyeing up a revamp of my Cupcake Club colourways. Well, certainly half of them. I'm just going to do 3 today, and then I'll do the next 3 tomorrow. The Cupcake Club was a club that I ran back in 2018, maybe 2019. Not 100, I think it might have been 2019, yes. And basically it was a collaboration club, so I did it alternate months, so there were only 6 months in the club, which is great because that means there were only 6 colourways, which makes bringing it back as a collection really handy. And I did it as a collaboration with various other kind of notions makers. So I had the little grey girl who did a so I've just spotted 2 spiders on the window of the garage. They're only small, it's fine. But they took me by surprise for a moment. Yeah, so the little grey girl did a matching notions pouch for the lemon and blueberry cupcake. Hannah from the Corner of Craft did a stitch marker, one of her beaded stitch markers for the strawberry and vanilla cupcake. And then we had various other makers involved as well. Front Pocket Studios, who I don't think make stitch markers anymore, Crafty Cat Knitty Bits, Bertie and Poppet, and one other that I am now drawing a complete blank on, which is dreadful. Yep, complete blank. Anyway, it was 2-3 years ago. So it was a really fun club, and I also made the cupcake recipes each month. So it was inspired by the actual recipe, and each month you got a little card with the recipe on, which was really fun as well. I've still got loads of those recipe cards left. So I think the first lot of people who order any of the Cupcake Clubs will also get a recipe card in with their order, because why not? I have saved them. Anyway, they are very old colourways. And a lot of the techniques I used are not necessarily techniques I use nowadays, and even some of the dyes that I used aren't dyes that I use nowadays. So I'm going to have to completely revamp them. So kind of recreate them. I'll probably substitute some of the dyes for slightly different colours, and maybe follow the same kind of layout of where the colours go on the skein, but maybe change how I do that and the technique and stuff like that, which is always quite interesting. But hopefully they'll come out relatively similar, and it'll be a really fun collection. So these are the scrappy boxes that I dyed yesterday. I've literally only just rinsed them, well, spun them out to dry and hung them up because I didn't get around to it yesterday. But as you can see, we've got Pinky, we've got, let's come right down, ignore any horrible dust you see on the floor, I really need to hoover. We've got Pink, and then we've got one that's kind of pinks and purples, and then that one at the back there, which is pink and navy, and then we've got a lovely kind of bright blue, and then this kind of blues and greeny kind of one. So I think they're going to make a really nice little scrappy box. Also, the rest of the advent yarn arrived. One of these is the box that arrived the other day, and the other 2 are the rest of the advent yarn that has just arrived today. So when I said I was going to have to find space for advent yarn, yeah, I've got to get all of that somewhere. They're not small boxes either. So we've got the first 2 colourways from the Cupcake revamp. The yellow and blue one here, this is blueberry and lemon and blueberry cupcakes. And then there's reddy pink speckle here is strawberry and vanilla cupcakes. So they've come out well. I'm quite happy with how they've come out. And I'm just about to make a start on the Earl Grey and Lemon. Good afternoon. Arthur is back at school after coming home for lunch, as always, and the Cupcake Club is going smoothly. And I'm just sitting down to get a little bit of knitting done. I spent the morning caking up yarn ready for stripes, and I think I'm at nearly 30 caked, maybe, something like that. I need to start warping them in the next week or so to try and keep on schedule to get 50 done for the shows I want to get them done for in June. So fingers crossed. House stuff is progressing slowly as it does at this stage. We've got a meeting tomorrow with the mortgage company to get our mortgage application submitted. We've heard various bits from the solicitors, just all the basic details of offers and titles and all of this kind of stuff. But yeah, it's going well. At the moment, the sellers are hoping for a completion date of the 25th of June, which is not that long. It's only 8 weeks away. We've just said we're going to hold off until we talk to the mortgage company tomorrow, just to make sure that that's feasible. But the solicitor doesn't seem to think it's any issue. They seem to think that 8 weeks is perfectly feasible for a mortgage application to go through. So yeah, we could be in by the summer holidays. The school term here ends on the 25th of June and the summer holidays start. So yeah, that could be quite good. Quite a good timing, I think. We'll see. Seems really soon. But fingers crossed it all goes smoothly. I was going to talk a little bit about knitting and organising my knitting. I've been feeling a little bit recently like I'm all over the place with knitting. Lots of stuff is just not getting worked on at all, and I'm kind of forgetting about it, and I'm focusing on things all over the place, and it's very disorganised. And I'm always completely in awe of Sharon of the SER1TNO Knitting Project podcast, because she has what she calls her knitting project, where she has a rolling rotation of her whips. So one day she works on socks, one day she works on garments, one day she works on shawls, etc, etc, etc. And I always think to myself, that would be a really good idea. And I have tried it before and completely failed. But I thought to myself, I'm going to give myself a challenge. And for the next month, I am going to challenge myself to stick to that kind of rotation. So I'm going to do it similarly to the way that Sharon does it. And I've kind of set myself up with a 6-day rotation so that the days that everything falls on changes in case there's days that are busier than others. So at the moment, I've got it so that the first day is garments, which was yesterday. And I worked yesterday evening on my campsite cardie, and I actually got the sleeve finished. So that was really good. So then the second day is socks. So I'm currently working on my picnic blanket socks, which are these ones here. I haven't cast the second one on yet, which I really need to do because I'm not working them concurrently otherwise, am I? So I am going to cast the second one on hopefully this afternoon. I'm just about to finish the third ruffle. Is that the right word? The third little kind of ruffled section. So I'm going to finish that, maybe put a couple of rows on it just to get past that. And then I'm going to stop and I'm going to cast on the second sock. And then day 3, I'm going to make as blankets. So pretty much any blanket I can work on that day. I'm just going to choose whichever blanket, but that's just blankets. Day 4 is going to be shawls. So in that case, at the moment, that's going to be my Advent shawl or the Raven shawl that I've got on the needles, or my Starflake, Slipstravaganza. So any of those could get worked on that day. And then day 5, I've lost count of how many days there are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Day 5, I'm going to make crochet. So that'll be when I work on kind of the little crochet dragon that I'm working on, or anything like that. I mean, potentially I could fit blankets in there as well if I'm doing crochet blankets, but all the time that I've got my little amigurumi dragon, that's going to be the main crochet thing. And then on day 6, I'm going to make that a day for other. So that is going to be a day where I do other things. So maybe I'll pick my spinning back up again. I could do some cross stitch, or I could work on a project that doesn't fit into any of those categories. I'm sure I've probably forgotten a category of some kind, but we're going to see. So I'm losing my voice. So I've written it into my planner. I'm just looking at my planner and making sure there's nothing on here that I can't share with you, is there? No. So I've put it into my diary. So as you can see, I've just written in each day for the month. Well, from yesterday up until most of May, I've written it in. And I'm going to see how I get on for a month. And just see if it helps me progress through projects, or if I really struggle, because I think my worry with it is that what I'll do is it'll be a day and I won't fancy working on a shawl, and then I won't work on anything. And that's my worry with it. But we'll see. We'll see. It'll be an interesting challenge to see whether it makes me work on things a little bit more evenly and get a bit more progress done. Anyway, I'm going to carry on working on this sock.